Hi guys, welcome back to another video from me here in Dingle, County Kerry. So it's extremely wet and the rain is pouring down today, so I'm going to try my best to get in here and show you this old graveyard and church called St. James's. And there's a very strong connections here at this church of famous artists Glenn Hansard, Hosier, that sang that song Take Me to Church. He sang in this church, and not only that, but the very famous Amy Winehouse sang in this church back in 2006 and stayed in the area in Dingle here. The church was extremely overgrown. You wouldn't even know it was there, the graveyard area, and they restored all the area, and I'll bring you in and show you what I'm talking about.
She was so what she had been represented as in the tabloids, and there was we didn't care about any of that. We weren't interested in any of that, and still aren't. It was just brilliant that she came with her spindly little legs and her mental hair and sang her heart out in Kerry for us. Brilliant.
Especially since she died, that in amongst the tidal wave of words, she starts to disappear. She stops being a person and becomes, I don't know, a cautionary tale, an object of pity, a rock and roll statistic. She stops being real. The Amy that we met in Dingle was 100% real, as well as being smart, sassy, generous, gorgeous. With her music, she's left behind something very, very special.
Right guys, so this is St. James's Church here in Dingle, County Kerry. And as I was saying there in the intro, in the video, the very famous Amy Winehouse sang right inside this church. And I do believe they're used the church at the moment for music groups and stuff. So it's a very old church. I think it's 1800s, that church. But the graveyard was extremely overgrown, and you can just see there's a couple of vaults in here as well. Now I'll try and match pictures over the video, but the place was extremely overgrown, got out of hand, and they've cleaned up all the graves and the area. So a big thumbs up to the people from Dingle for doing this. And you can actually hear music here in the background. I don't think there's anybody in the church today, but if I can get a view of inside the church, it's actually closed today, but inside there in that church, right there where those chairs are, I think Amy Winehouse stood. So we look at a couple of these old vaults, and we have one here, Sheehy's, Dingle, Milltown. So this is the vault of the Sheehy's, and there's a handle of a coffin left on top of it. Look at that. There's a path around, so I'll go around and bring you around this way. Just here we have I think this is the biggest vault or mausoleum in the graveyard. Is this one here. The body of it looks like to me F-R-E-D Frederick 18 son of, God, it's hard to read that. It's that type of writing and it's hard to read. Morning. Right guys, we're going to keep moving here because the rain is not very kind to us today, but to get these, couldn't pass this one by, you know, and we'll be going over that direction soon. I'll show you, there's some amazing views there, the mountains in Kerry as well. There's a grave here and it's sad to me it's sad to see. I think it's a child's grave. Now the name that's on it down here is Edina, Edina. It's a tiny little headstone and there's lovely bluebell flowers on it. So that's probably a little girl's grave there, Edina. She probably died in the 1800s, I'd imagine. Rest in peace, Edina. So this is the path they've made. They've made a beautiful job of this old graveyard. You can see here they've cemented up. Now the last place I was in, Kilrush, you all know, if you haven't seen that video, check it out, Kilrush in County Kerry, the flooded cemetery. But this is absolutely totally different here. They've done a super job here. You can see they've took away all the overgrowth around the graves, so you can actually see the graves now and read them, and they've cut down a lot of trees in the old graveyard. And just here I'll show you as well on this was a tree, but you see they've drilled holes in these in the trees here and probably inserted some kind of a weed killer so that the tree won't be able to grow. So they've done them all like that, with the holes in them. We have a grave here. This is the grave of John Shard, Coast Guard, died the 29th of September 1873, aged 36 years old. You can hear music in the background, so I hope I don't get copyrighted on this video.
See them ones there all cemented up.
Yeah, number of vaults here as well. We have some, they've put stone on that there. There's the entrance to it. There was a bit of vandalism done in this old graveyard, but they've tried to clean it, but I suppose they couldn't get it off it. You can just see there what that is, and it's not nice, you know. It's stupid. It's ridiculous that people come into a graveyard and spray paint graves. Like, I don't understand people that do that. They're brain dead, these people. I think they need a brain transplant or something. There's another vault. Look at this tree. The railing of the grave is still attached to this old tree here. Look at this. Look at that. The old railing is still attached to the tree. I love that, nature taking over, when you can see the railing embedded into the tree like that. Yeah, so there's a number of old graves that we'll get around to. The weather picked up, the rain has stopped, thank God. And there's a railing that just stands there, and that probably goes around that vault there. So there's the old church where Amy Winehouse sang that very famous song, Rehab, right in there.
Beautiful window.
And the window's gorgeous in it, yeah.
I'll try and take a photo from inside it.
So I'll go back down this way and We'll read a couple of more old headstones. Here we have Lieutenant Thomas R. Parker, 6th Veteran Battalion. He died the 10th of September 1852 at 70. And that's his vault, Lieutenant Thomas Parker. So there's an idea of the graves here, what they've done. So that grave was probably forgotten about and it wasn't even seen. So they've cleared away all that overgrowth. They put down fresh soil over the grave here and tidied it all up. You can hear the music in the background. I'm sure Amy Winehouse would be proud of that music today. Another old vault in there, look at that. Not good in there, it's too wet. You can see there's that area there that's not covered really, or you know, they didn't cut that area, but look at the lovely footpath they made. The old graveyard. We have an old vault in there, look at that. The handle that's on that one. So Dingle is beautiful. Gorgeous. County Kerry in itself is just stunning. There's a grave. They tried to make it as good as they could, that one there. They put some rocks and stones on it just to mark the location, to let people know, you know, there actually is someone buried there. We have another grave here they made with all that old stone. Look at that. Here lies the body of Jeremiah, I think is the name on that, who died in you can see it there, 1769, or 1796, sorry, aged 61 years old. Fabulous old graves here. Now I'll take you down and show you there's actually a vault down here, and I'll show you why they drilled holes in the trees, because the trees were growing out of the vault. I'll just show you why they drilled the holes there. Cleaned up all this area. It's another vault. See, this wouldn't have been seen back then, you know, it would be completely covered. Nobody would even know there was one there. Super job. So I'll show you this. Look at this, guys, though. Look at the size of that stump of a tree that grew out through the old vault. And you can see here, there's a hole here. There's another one there. There's one there as well. There's a couple of holes in it. You can probably see more there. So they drilled holes in the bark of the tree and put in some form of weed killer there so it wouldn't be able to grow anymore. But look at the nature again, how that has attached itself to that vault. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. It's a beautiful church. Fabulous looking church. We have the vault here of the Mourne family. The big iron ring on it. And there's a little headstone kind of a thing up the top of it there. Hear the crows out. I'll go around this way, guys. There's another vault here I want to show you. And it's this one here. Look at that. Isn't that stunning looking? So they put a new plaque on this. And the name, it says Hand. Peter Hand, retired naval gunner. 1857 to 1934. His beloved wife Mary Agnes Hand, née Stott, 1864 to 1934. May they rest in peace. So they both died the same year, Peter and Mary Agnes, in 1934. So I've come across that a number of times now on graves where people died the same year, maybe it could be around the same time, month. You know, one couldn't live without the other, maybe broken hearted. So that's a good view of the old graveyard there. What they've done. There's unusual designs on this one, and I don't know what those designs are, if anybody knows. You can see on this one here, I don't know what design that is. It looks like a design, I think, but I won't say what it is, but someone might get the idea of it. And I'll just bring you over here and show you the mountains. There's mountains here in the background, and you can see the clouds coming down over the mountains. And hopefully I'll be able to get up this way and show you. All the old stuff you see there against the wall, all that old debris, that's what came off the old graveyard. All this stuff here, they took away all that old stuff. There is old, they're all old railings, wrought iron railings that would have come off all the old graves. So they just left them out of the way here because they're all rusty now and everything, and they're not being used. So I'll just zoom in and show you. There's the mountains in Dingle. You can see the clouds coming down over them. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? So there's a bike run or something on today, I don't know. There's a load of people going around on bikes. So that's the old church, guys, here in Dingle. A beautiful old church and graveyard that was restored a couple of years ago and brought back to its former glory. So as I was saying, very well done to the people of Dingle who completed this restoration here of this old graveyard. Big thumbs up from me and all my viewers for what you've done here. You've done a remarkable job, and these people are not forgotten. Hard to believe Amy Winehouse sang in there in a little church in a remote area. That song, to try to make me go to rehab, I said no, no, no. One of my favourite songs. Love that song. Love Amy Winehouse. Died very, very young. Unfortunately, 27 years old. She was in the 27 club, as they call it. Right guys, I think I'm going to wrap the video up there. Thank you for coming along with me on this walk today, remembering all the people that are in here, and also remembering Amy Winehouse, who got to see Dingle in County Kerry and sing in this church. So for me here in Dingle in St. James's Old Church and Graveyard, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. The notification bell lets you know when I upload a live video or any type of video on my channel. So take care, God bless, and I'll see you all soon.